I was so hungry for opportunities. And the first probably 8 years of my life here, I was hustling. I was a Russian hustler. I was working 2, 3, 4 jobs, right? I was maximizing every opportunity in pursuit of my American dream. Quantum is a language of science to describe magic. If you live on this planet, you'll have many opportunities to worry if you don't know how to alchemize it, right?
Get ready for the next iteration of you on your path to becoming wealthy. On this show, you'll get the insider's view on wealth creation, the class none of us got taught in school, with my co-host, daughter, and beginning investor, Sophia Bosch. And now, let's get started. Welcome to the Becoming Wealthy podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Bosch. I have my co-host here,
Sophia Bosch.
And we are super excited to have with us today a dear friend, also a mentor, and somebody that I look up to tremendously, and that shares kind of like this immigrant story here into the U.S., like mom and dad do. And I would like to introduce you, Sophia, formally, and to everyone that is watching and listening. My friend and mentor, Katerina Satori. Katerina is a leadership mentor. She is a trusted advisor. She's an online educator. And, she talks about being on the path of the soul and on a mission to raise the consciousness of the entire planet. She's here to basically help leaders, people like you and I, remember who we truly are, that we're more than just a physical body, that we're spiritual beings, and that sometimes we forget how powerful we are because of, challenges and curveballs that life throws at us. So with that, I would like to, welcome Katerina to the show. So how are you doing, Katerina?
What a warm, loving welcome. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Sophia. And I love what you're creating here, supporting multiple generations of women with the wisdom and with your love.
Thank you, Katerina, for being here with us. Every single time that I think of magic, I think about you. I think about you when I think about being a visionary leader and about developing, those abilities that require us to really tap into, hidden potential as leaders and as visionaries of our companies, as visionaries for our own life. And with that, I know that Sophia wants to get us kick-started with the first question. And go for it, Sophia.
Okay, so I know that you're an immigrant into the U.S., just like my parents. So if you could tell us a little bit about your story, that would be great.
I remember when I landed in the capital of Alaska, Juneau.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I thought that was it. The promised land of the United States right there. Just to realize I had one more plane to catch to another small town called Skagway. Mm-hmm. And by the time I was trembling hands, I looked at the amount of money I had because it was before credit card. And even if you have a credit card as an immigrant, you can't have it in the US, right? I was on a work visa. And I remember looking through my pockets, whatever cash I had an exact amount to catch that last plane to come to Alaska. And when I paid for my ticket, I had $3 left. And with those $3 sacred dollars was my entry into this country. And I remember dragging my little suitcase. The airport was so tiny, I could walk from the airport to the little place I was staying. And I was so grateful that I've made it. And somehow I knew that if divine grace and spirit brought me to that point, I would not be abandoned. So I had the little $3, but I knew the provision would simply show up. And it exactly happened. Spirit gave me these beautiful angels on my path, but that was the beginning. And I worked as a housekeeper, my very first job, because that's the only thing that was available. But I scrubbed those floors with so much determination, raised by a Russian woman, Russian mother, who would say, if you do it well, or don't touch it at all. You got it? You got it? Yes, Mom, I got it. Scrubbed my floors. by the end of the first month as a housekeeper, I got an award for the best housekeeper of the month. And I was so surprised. I was like, this is very interesting country that I landed. They give you a reward for doing a job well, right? So I come from the former communist country where the whole regime was a military regime. Everybody was forced to be the same. No, if you're an astronaut or you're a construction worker, the salary is the same. So that level of mentality of 80 years of military regime killed individual initiative, killed this fire to make something of yourself. So I wanted to get out of that collective thinking, that restrictive society. And when I saw an opportunity to come to US to work for the summer, it was just a summer job opportunity. I got it, and I put all my bets on that one table. One choice, got to America, started like that. And but the beautiful thing was when I came here, all I saw opportunities. I remember being so, again, shocked and surprised to learn that you can have 2 jobs here. And I said, you can have 2 jobs here? People were like, yes, you can have 3 or 4 if you want. Because again, coming from communism, you only could have 1 job, 1 salary, right? So there's limitations. So when I found myself here, I became, I was so hungry for opportunities, for these new windows and doors that were opening for me. And the first probably 8 years of my life here, I was hustling. I was a Russian hustler. I was working 2, 3, 4 jobs, right? I was maximizing every opportunity in pursuit of my American dream. And that was before I stepped into the work that I do now, because after 8 years of obsessive achievement, I crushed my health. Mm-hmm. And that was my first experience with, what I call humility soup, where life gives you humility soup and says, you think you are invincible? Let's humble that ego. Let's teach you how you can't drive your body to the wall. So that was my experience of health crisis, which was a beautiful blessing in disguise, because it helped me stop and actually gain a perspective on a lifestyle that was really out of balance. Mm-hmm. So I'll pause here, but that was my beginning, Sophia. I'm the first generation immigrant. I was raised by a single mother who was working very hard labor jobs, like one of those Soviet Union factories where she would be washing big, heavy metal bins all day long, physical labor. She crushed her back, crushed her neck, just like really, really difficult jobs. So as a little girl, watching my mom just rapidly aging, constantly being undernourished, under provided, I made a decision as a child that I will never use my body only to provide for me, right? I will never be a physical labor person. I will develop my mind. And I will also develop my ability to find the key to any person who crosses my path. Because I saw that was another magic, right? You can develop your mind, but if you don't know how to be with others, how to find a way of communicating with other people, none of your knowledge not going to make you far. So it's the magic of both, right? Ability to connect from the place of authenticity and genuine presence, and ability to have this hungry, curious, open mind.
Wow, Katerina, thank you so much for sharing that. There is so much to unpack there. And especially, because Sophia probably can see some parallels when you talk about your mom. Sophia, do you see a little bit of Oma Gloria being represented, as Katerina describes?
And especially, I like how she touched on the physical labor. Personally, for me, I don't really want to do anything in physical labor. I'd rather use my mind. Uh-huh. So trying to apply that also to a job.
Yeah.
Things like that. But I for sure see a little bit of Oma Gloria in there.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing that, Katerina. Could you help us understand, and especially Sophia and everyone that is, listening to this podcast, what do you mean when you say that you're a leadership mentor, but more than anything that you're a seer? What does that mean?
Visualization is such a powerful practice that we can all develop and become more and more effective in it. And it's the part of our conscious mind, right? The part of our mind that we can use the imagination to see our greater self, to see the vision, to feel it, to create it, or to, one of the practices that I do in the beginning of each day, to really imagine the highest version of this day, the highest vibrational potential of this day before it begins. When I refer to myself as a seer, it is a term to somebody who sees beyond physical dimension, somebody who unlocks the potential of using spiritual eye. So I imagine, Sophia, between your eyebrows, you have a secret door. And that door is a portal to your eternal self, to your higher self. And all of us, when we incarnate and take on this body, all of our psychic, spiritual senses lay dormant, and they need to be developed through spiritual exercises and concentration and meditation and even intention. But once it opens, there is this ancient eye right in the center of your brain, and it's called the pineal gland. And it's sort of like a mini antenna in your brain. And when we awaken that portal, we begin to connect to higher dimensions. We begin to hear things and see things that are extrasensory perception. And we begin to tap into the potential of our intuitive mind. Albert Einstein said, intuition is more powerful than knowledge. All of the inventions, the most incredible inventions in the world, like Nikola Tesla and all other luminaries, they would use their intuitive mind through the pineal gland, through that ancient spiritual eye, to tap into these quantum potentials and download solutions to any challenge. That's the kind of a conversation that I like to have, because when we go quantum, what it means is quantum is a language of science to describe magic. Right? So imagine magic is scientific. We simply didn't have the language to describe. So we call it, it's magic. Yes, it's called quantum effect.
Katerina, so yeah, this is very familiar to me. Sometimes I have what I like to call, revelatory dreams. I have revelations in my dreams, or sometimes ideas. I'm in the shower and an idea will just kind of come out of nowhere, and I'll find solutions to problems, and you've heard me say this to Dad sometimes, and you've had similar experiences, in terms of listening to your intuition as well. Right. Maybe, for you, your experiences have been different. For me, it's in my dreams, but tell us a little bit about what you did, for example, to tune into intuition with the Art of Living program.
Okay, so I did a little kid, it's for kids, the program, and it's basically 2 days, I think. You get in with the group. It's all day too, so they give you lunch. But I know, I like the lunch, so the first half of the day, we aren't even doing anything, or you think you're not doing anything with intuition. So basically, you spend your morning playing games, trusting each other. You're meditating. You're doing some weird things that
Such as?
Such as like doing squats while holding like your earlobes, which might seem strange, but I'm not judging it. It works. Certain things to like loosen up your body, whatever, and allow you to like fully relax. And then you basically get put with a blindfold. And I had a crazy experience with it. So basically they gave us, I had the blindfold on. They gave us a random sheet of paper, which on one side, it was the colored version of like a item. Like, so mine
It was a car,
Mine
right?
was a car. And it was like, the sheet was fully like flat. So you couldn't feel anything. Like there wasn't any indents or anything that you could cheat off of. And then the other side was the empty outline. So one was the colored version and one was the empty one. They gave us a box of crayons with mixed order of colors. Like it wasn't even in the order like that it usually comes. So you have to, with your blindfold, figure out the right colors to use, where to place it, well, which side is the outline version and which side is the colored version. And basically color it in. And I almost got it like spot on. I got the colors right. I got the side right. I got everything while blindfolded. And you're basically just trusting your intuition.
Your intuition, yeah.
It was crazy.
Katerina, I know you mentioned, that you had some, health challenges, and probably those health challenges are the ones that, got you started on this path of looking at energetics and, all things spiritual. And I wanted to talk about, especially today with Sophia, about this concept of being a rainmaker. What is it to be a rainmaker from an energetic standpoint?
Yes, a spiritual rainmaker is a person who knows how to tap into the inner realm to manifest from within the abundance that is required for any project or anything like this. We all, it's so beautiful because we always have everything we need within. We simply don't always know how to access it or how to use it. So I bring this, one of my curriculums called Spiritual Rainmaker, really to help people access these manifesting powers and manifesting abilities, and also realizing that every single one of us has a set of talents within. That is a unique combination of talent, experience, our uniqueness, our personality. And that unique combination is so valuable. And when we learn to communicate that, we can learn how to find the right fit between our talents and a demand or a need in the marketplace. Boom, we'll always be able to monetize our talents and gifts. It's actually very easy and it's natural. What takes a lot of times patience and the process for people is to believe in themselves and then to access the raw talent and to refine it and to polish it. It's like a raw diamond, right? And then you polish it, and then becomes that sparkling jewel that we call your unique code of genius.
That sounds a lot like unique ability. We had a guest, do you remember, that talked about basically a triangle and a value creation. And he talked about, number one, what are you passionate about? Number two, what are you good at? And number three, with those two things, how can you be of service to others to basically create that triangle of value creation, for others in order to actually monetize, that value and be on your way to creating 7 figures, in the next 5 years.
Yes, it's a universal, we would call it, Michelle, a universal law or spiritual law. And I love that you brought that because then we can really embrace our life as an adventure, right? It's an adventure of us learning to see our creativity as a currency that is going to be always in demand. And yes, we will find, we will be faced with obstacles, inner obstacles, the doubt of the mind, the worry, the fear, the outer obstacles, resistance, right? But those obstacles and resistance is the right pressure to give us that resolve, right? To become the most masterful version or the most dedicated version towards our passion. And I love that you brought about the passion. Passion is so key, right? For me, I've been always passionate about learning. I am such a nerd at times. Like I learn. It's like, how do I get paid to learn more? There must be a way. And then I found out you learn, you also teach, and that's exactly, it's like I educate. So the more I educate, the more I learn, the more I learn, the more I educate, right? It goes, but that's the passion. And when we find our passion and we find the language to describe our passion in the way that people say, I need that, I could use that, that's valuable to me, right? That's magic.
Yes, it is. It is magic. Now, Katerina, as Sophia is right now, embarking on this journey of trying to finish high school, start her land business, start applying for colleges. There's going to be many situations where she's going to be dealing with worry, with anxiety, with stress, with doubts. Am I right? Am I doing the right things? Am I taking the right decisions, the right steps? What are some rituals or some things that she can do to help transform basically those very human emotions and very human moments and turn them from lead into gold and actually use the power, because they are powerful. Doubt is powerful. Fear is powerful. Anger is powerful. All of these emotions are powerful, but how can we use those and transform them and turn them into gold, to overcome whatever, is coming at us in life?
Let's talk about worry. Michelle, worry, oh my gosh, if you live on this planet, you'll have many opportunities to worry if you don't know how to alchemize it, right? We say, I'm going to take this energy, I'm going to feel it. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of concentration here. Let me direct this energy to say, what do I want to create with this energy? So if I worry, I expect and anticipate kind of like not so good outcome. If I notice it and I say, this is my moment of power, I'm noticing I'm worrying, I'm going to feel it, and I'm going to direct my mind. What would I love to create? What would I love to see happen? If I remember, I am an alchemist. And by focusing on the opposite qualities of worry, you begin to build up a completely new energy from within you, right? So the secret is whatever emotion or feeling, you want to find what's the opposite of that, right? So let's say from worry, we go into trust. And you want to think about, when was the last time I trusted life? I love giving my mind these kind of like bookmarks for the mind. Worry is a prayer to the universe to give you what you don't want. Oh, I remember. Okay, I'll let go of worry, step into the present moment. How deep I can be trusting. And then the second principle that I love to use in the mental alchemy is a principle of vibration. So it's another law of the universe, the law of vibration. And that says everything in the universe is constantly vibrates and shifts. So if you feel worry, you got to remember it's only 90 seconds experience. If you allow it to run, it's only 19 seconds, 90, right? It's a minute and a half. And after that, it shifts. It's when we begin to struggle and judge the emotion, we get locked into it. Remember, it's from this from the research of psychology. They say any intense emotion physiologically only lasts 90 seconds. It's only when we begin to attach a story to the emotion, we're stuck there for a day. They just say, oh, it's an uncomfortable feeling for 90 seconds. Let me just become curious. Oh, that's the texture of worry. Okay, got it. What do I want to do with this energy? Oh, let me use my power of my imagination. What's the best situation? What's the best outcome? What's the best scenario that could possibly happen? Right? And you go from the place of being focused on a limited option that is frightening and uncomfortable to the realm of possibilities, curiosity, and imagination. And that's magic.
Sophia, I want you to notice something about the language that Katerina is using. She just talked about the texture of an emotion. Have you ever heard about an emotion being described in this way?
Never really. If someone has explained it that way, I never really noticed it because I understand it. Like with that language, I feel like when you feel an emotion, you use all your senses. So
you get what she means when she says texture.
I understand it.
Yeah. Katerina, so I've seen your social media and I know that you love humor codes. I've seen you, wearing and sporting your sloth outfit and costume. And, we use sometimes humor codes at home, especially Dad. You remember that one time where he dressed up as Olaf and went for Halloween to school and all the Elsas and all the princesses.
Oh, yeah, that was the year that it just came out.
Yeah.
The first Frozen movie. Everyone was in Elsa Anna costumes, all the little girls. And then none of the parents were dressed up, and there was Papa with his Olaf costume.
Embracing the humor codes. Katerina, and one final question. If we could leave Sophia with a ritual for her to basically start her day powerfully and centered so that no matter what comes her way, she can face whatever challenges come during the day and do it from a place of equanimity, what would be a ritual that you would leave her with?
You can start your day with saying, what energy I'm going to express today.
Yes.
Right? And it could be like, my energy today is going to be, I will be curious. Today, my entire intention, how curious can I be? Right? Or how playful I can be, or how present I can be. So what you're doing, you're training yourself in this to become an energy alchemist, knowing that you can experience any energy that you choose, just like an outfit. And what's so cool about that, you will learn over time that the only thing people remember is how they were feeling in your presence. They'll forget what you said, they'll forget what you taught them, but how you made them feel, that people always remember. So if we work on our energy, like, oh, I'm gonna be like the sunshine. Oh, I'm gonna be like this warm hug. That's my energy, right? Which I feel you're already doing that. You're already there. It's just a little bit. You can give a conscious intention and then watch what happens.
Katerina, it's been an amazing time together, and I know we're coming to the end. One final piece of advice, and where can people, connect with you and get a hold of you?
I am all over internet, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and of course my website. And you can just find me at Katerina Satori. I am on all those channels.
Thank you, Katerina. It has been a pleasure having you here with us today, pouring into Sophia and really talking about prosperity and magic and alchemy and basically sometimes, turning challenges into amazing things that actually help us, move ahead and upgrade. And I greatly appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. For those of you listening, if you love today's podcast, leave us a 5-star review, share with an important woman or kid in your life, a 16-year-old in your life or a teenager in your life, and subscribe to the channel. We would love to be able to reach more people, and we can't do that if we don't share with others, the goodness that we have here in store for all of you. So until the next one, bye-bye. Thank you.